नमो प्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्ते स्तुलम्बोदरायैकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमः। प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामभित्र्यवतु चोदयित्री सुनृतानां चेतन्ति सुमतीनां यज्ञं दधे सरस्वती वाग्देव्यै नमः। शम्भवे नमः। नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। ये अर्वामुतमा पुराणे वेदं विद्वा पुंसमभितो वदन्त्यादित्यमेव ते परिवदन्ति सर्वे अग्निं द्वितीयं तृतीयं च पुंसमिति यावतीर्वै देवतास्ताः सर्वा वेदविधिब्राह्मणेव सन्ति तस्मात् ब्राह्मणेभ्यो वेदविद्भ्यो दिवे दिवे नमस्कुर्यान्नाश्लीलं कीर्तयेदेता एव देवताः प्रीणाति।
सर्वेभ्यः शुभरात्रि नवरात्रि संदर्भस्य शुभाशयाः। I request Swarna to introduce the speaker and then we go ahead with the today's program.
Namaste. Sarvebhyah Navaratri Shubhashayaha. A very warm welcome to one and all who have joined hands along with Sattva and Nirakula Yoga for celebrating Navaratri on this second day of celebrations. I am honored and delighted to extend our warm welcome to Shri Professor Dr. Madhusudan Penna. Penna is a winner of prestigious Sahitya Academy in Sanskritam for the year 2019. He is currently in charge, Vice Chancellor and Registrar of Kavikula, Guru Kalidas Sanskrit University. He teaches in the Indian Philosophy and Culture Department as a professor and dean. He is also the director of research program and publications. He studied Sanskrit under reputed scholars and graduated with a gold medal in all his 3 master's courses and 1 each in BA and PhD. He holds a diploma in German language. Apart from Sahitya Academy Award, he has won 7 other prestigious awards. He has 36 publications to his name and also has translated many books from Sanskrit to Telugu and English. He is an example of rare combination of both Shastra knowledge and modern outlook, and that drives him to unearth the gems of ancient texts and present it specifically to modern minds. Today, Sri Madhusudan Penna is going to take us through yoga, Chittashuddhi, and Bhartiya civilization. Once again, our Hritpurvaka Suswagatam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Sarvebhyah sadara pranamaha. So, is there any formality or should I start?
Nothing as of now, sir. We can start.
Yeah. So, thank you. And my heartiest greetings to all the participants here, because on this auspicious occasion, we are here to know about our own tradition and especially the Chittashuddhi part of that. So I really thank the organizers because this is a beautiful topic that they have chosen, and I have some presentation, so I would like to share with you. Can you see the slide there on the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So it's very simple. Chittashuddhi. So especially in our tradition, in our Indian tradition, all the darshanas have laid importance on Chittashuddhi, because just Charvaka you forget. Charvaka have not given that much importance to Chitta and Chittashuddhi because they consider that it is all just some humbug. But all the other Astik Darshana, they give importance to Chittashuddhi. And whatever the Shastras say, we ourselves try to understand what is the Chittashuddhi and how much it is useful in our life. So generally, in my own way, I'll be trying to discuss with you first what is Chitta after all, and what is Shuddhi, and why Chitta Shuddhi. So first we understand Chitta and Shuddhi, then we try to understand the purpose of Chitta Shuddhi, then how to achieve. So that is the means. So thus we have the 4 topics to be covered. That begins with Chitta. Chitta is equated with mind. In our Patanjali yoga tradition, Chitta is not different from Manas. That's why in the Yoga Sutras also, very frequently you find the word Chitta for Manas and Manas for Chitta also. And of course, the commentators also throw light on the identity of these two. So therefore, practically there is no difference. Even in the Vedanta system, that Manas is Chitta, Chitta is Manas. It depends on its function. So sometimes it is Manas, sometimes it is Buddhi. The same element is given a different name. So it is only in the name, but otherwise it is the same element. So what is that after all? It is Chitta, Antahkarana. See, I am speaking now. You are all listening. You are also thinking. I am also thinking. But you can see my body. You can hear my words. And you understand that this person must be of this stature. This person must be of this knowledge. So all this is your understanding of me as a person. So my personality, that means the physical personality is one, that is my identity. And apart from that, I have levels of identity. Like I am a person physically, then my emotions, my intelligence. So that also forms part of my personality. So therefore, when somebody says, "Who are you?" then the answer is very difficult, because I am the person who is appearing before you. One, this is the physical appearance. Then I am the person with all my emotions, idiosyncrasies, and other. This is my emotional personality or identity. That's why in one Smriti Grantha it says, Trini Jyotimshi iti vai devalo bravit. After all, a person means all these included. So the third identity of me is intelligence, my own intelligence. So as a person, I am identified, recognized in the society differently. Some people remember Penna as a person as he appears. Other people know Penna through his teachings, lectures. So that is another recognition of Penna. And other people have other way of approaching or recognizing the same personality. So in that, the outside physical body is functioning in a way with all hands, legs, everything. And there is something functioning inside which is not visible, tangible, but which is felt. It is known as manas, chitta. So that chitta is basically the, the prime matrix, you can say. Because when Brahma created the world, it was through his sankalpa, that is mind again, the cosmic mind. Similarly, we also have the individual mind, something called chitta. And it is very powerful that a person on his deathbed, a person in his coma, state of coma, he doesn't receive, doesn't respond. But we all receive and respond. So after all, our life is just the passage between two, impression and expression. So the entire life can be characterized by these two, impressions and expressions. And between these two only, the entire secret of our life is placed. How we accumulate the impressions, and in the Yoga Shastra also it is believed that they are all stored in the mind, chitta. Then because of that, we respond, correspond, and this is the expression. So thus, the entire life is nothing but impression and expression. So in both the states, mind is active while collecting the impressions and while expressing that. So for example, I may have studied Patanjali, Vasishtha, and many other. That is my impression, that what I have carried. And now a time has come to share all this. This is expression. And throughout our life, in the society, we will be doing these things. Every day, we will be participating with the things outside and responding, thus collecting, accumulating impressions, and again responding, that is expression. And while collecting the impressions and expressing or reacting, mind is active, that is chitta. So in this process, the chitta, as I told you, which doesn't have a form, which is intangible, but very, very powerful, because it can carry this body, it can make this body function. So that powerful chitta is there. And in this process of impression and expression, it may collect unnecessary things. So somebody may ask, okay, let it collect, what would happen? The problem is, when unnecessary things are collected and stored up, the necessary and valuable things may be missed and they may not find a place. That is the problem. See, if we keep our doors open, windows open, everything open, we may get fresh air, but along with that, there is every possibility of getting the dirt also from outside. So if all the dirty things come into our house, then we have to take care of that. We have to exert ourselves and we have to clean up our house. Similarly, because of our basic instincts, when several unnecessary things are stored up in our mind, it is our sacred duty to remove all these, clean up ourselves. That is shuddhi. So chitta and shuddhi, when these two words come together, they actually speak of keeping ourselves pure emotionally, psychologically, and we'll discuss the means later. But now, in the yoga philosophy, the chitta is an evolute or a product of Prakriti only. It is material. Chitta is only a material because it is a modification of Prakriti. Prakriti is the Sarvakarana Karanam, they say. In our Darshana philosophy, they say it is the cause of all causes. That is Prakriti. In Vedanta, that is Brahma. In Sankhya Yoga, it is Prakriti. So there is some force functioning diversely through Sattva, through Rajas, through Tamas. And that particular force is given a name. The prime matrix, the prime cause of the universe is given a name, Prakriti. And that Prakriti, it modifies itself in several forms due to the participation of Purusha. That means matter is inert, therefore it cannot produce something on its own. So therefore it requires the participation of energy called consciousness. So on one side, we have the material energy, dead, inert, but on the other side, we have the energy called consciousness. And the dead energy is, of course, devoid of all emotions, devoid of all knowledge. But this consciousness is also an energy which is with all these. That means which has intelligence, which is intelligence. So that is the basic difference between the two. So therefore, when the matter produces something or something is modified within the matter, that particular modification itself requires the participation of consciousness. So therefore, we have the two, Purusha and Prakriti. So these two are often revered as Jagatav Pitarau Vande, Parvati Parameshwaru. It's actually the Prakriti and Purusha are none other than direct Parvati and Parameshwara. Parvati, the Prakriti part, and Parameshwara, the Shiva. Shiva Shakti. So that is a beautiful combination. And in this combination, within this particular spectrum, the Chitta is a modification of Prakriti. It is Dravya and it is the storehouse of all impressions called Vasana. The Vasana are stored up in Chitta. Then, as I told you, there is every possibility of getting unnecessary things also because of the, they say in the yoga philosophy, our ignorance, spiritual blindness, spiritual ignorance. So we often give importance or preference to unnecessary things. But when we are awakened in the spiritual life, we understand what are the unnecessary things. Otherwise, there is no chance of knowing because it is a very natural day-to-day life. We go out, we meet with several people, we communicate, we chat with others, and even on internet also we have every chance of being exposed to several things. But how to know what is good, what is not, what is necessary, what is not? Because a very short period is given as life. It is maximum 100 years, but not guaranteed. There is no assurance. Nobody has given us life assurance, life insurance, etc. Only the LIC and other they give, but God has not given. So he says you have maximum 100 years, and within that you should realize the necessary things and keep yourself away from the unnecessary things and lead a very purposeful life. And in order to lead a purposeful life, you should know what is good. This is exactly what happened to Nachiketas in the Katha Upanishad. When Nachiketas, a small boy of maybe 11 or 12-year-old boy, when he approached his father and observed that his father was giving away the barren cows to other Brahmins, so he thought, Dugdha doha, Nirindriya, Pitodaka, Jagdhatrana. These cows are of no use because the last drop of milk is milked. They have eaten the last blade of grass. They have taken the last drop of water, and they are of no use. But my father has been giving away these cows to the Brahmins. Then he approached his father and asked him, Tata kasmai mam dasyasi. Father, tell me, to whom are you giving away me? To whom? Then Prathamam Dvitiyam Tritiyam. Then his father got vexed up and said, Mrutya Vetva Dadami. So it is quite natural that go to hell, he said. His father said, go to hell. That means Sanskrit, in Sanskrit. So Nachiketas took it very seriously, and he simply laid down his body there and he went to Yamadharmaraja's abode. So there, Yamadharmaraja had a dialogue with him, and he had given 3 boons also. And Yamadharmaraja had explained to him 2 things, because Nachiketas wanted to know what happens to people after death. Initially, Yamadharmaraja was not inclined to answer. He said, no, gods also fail because it's very secret, high secret, I cannot disclose. And I'll give you 10,000 years of life and all pleasures, royal pleasures. You enjoy your life. Don't bother about it. What happens to people when they die? It's of no use. But he was so adamant that he insisted on that. I would like to know what happens to us when we die. And before that, we should understand life, then afterlife. So first, what is given, what is in hand, that should be properly understood and properly invested. Otherwise, it is wasted. So when Nachiketa asked, Yamadharmaraj said, our life is nothing but preferences between 2. Preference to preyas or shreyas. One may prefer shreyas, the other person may prefer shreyas. Prayers comes from preeti, what appeals to you, what you like, what you love. This is preeti, prayas. But other is whatever is good for you, that is shreyas. So our life will be just dwindling between these 2. Something we like, something is good for us. And we will be oscillating between these 2 always. But when there is more weightage on shreyas, that is good for us, because it actually assures our next life, that is whatever life we will take. So that is decided here only. So therefore Yamadharmaraja tells, exactly what happens later, you keep it aside, but you first focus on shreyas. There is a very funny thing happened with a mathematician. He's a very good mathematician. So one person approached him and they said, why do you why do you hang something outside of your house at the doorstep? Do you believe? Because it's only superstitious. Then the scientist said, see, I don't believe, but if something happens, let it happen. See, it's a very crooked way of putting the things. He says, I don't believe, this is only for people. But he says at the same time, if something good is going to happen, let it happen. So that's why I hang it outside. So such twists are there. People say, Shreyas is good, Prayas is appealing, but whatever appeals to us, our senses, our mind, may not be good for us. So therefore, we should always be alert about whatever is good. And who decides? Who will teach us whatever is good? Shastra. In the Bhagavad Gita also it is said, Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karya Karya Vyavastita. So ultimately it is Shastra through which we understand whatever is good or not. See, in the Taittiriya Upanishad it is stated, you know that ki yadite vritta vichikitsava karma vichikitsava syat ye tatra brahmana sammarshinaha aluksha dharma kamasyuhu yatha te tatra varteran tvam tatha tatra vartethaha esha adeshaha esha upadeshaha esha vedopanishat. So it very beautifully tells us that when we are at a loss, we cannot decide whatever is good for us, then we either directly approach the Shastra or the people who are adept in deciding dharma. So when they are there, so we can approach them and decide our own life pattern. And this is the shuddhi expected here. This is through Shreyas. So whatever is prayas, that means whatever is attractive, appealing, that should be kept away. Then people say, sir, it is very easy to say, but how? See, we have got one birth, we are not sure of the next. Then if you say we should give up everything, then why to live? So the same question somebody asked me also, sir, if you go on telling the people that this is not good, that is not good, then ultimately nothing will be left to enjoy. But enjoyment is also purpose of life. So somebody newly married, somebody approached him and said, okay, you are newly married, and if your wife asks you, do you smoke cigarettes? You say no. Do you smoke? Do you eat non-veg? Anything? So all unnecessary things. Do you do that? Do you do that? All the questions, and your answers will be negative, and you say no, 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 no. Ultimately, your wife will be vexed up. So there will not be an enjoyment with you. Then he says, in that case, I leave Haram also. That means I leave my wife. So that was a funny side of that. Here, people say, if there is no enjoyment, then why to live? But our tradition, especially the yoga tradition, says life is not just for enjoyment, and it is only falsely projected enjoyment that we have been running after. Exact enjoyment is in knowing own self and remaining quiet, peaceful, contentful. So this is a very peculiar one. And they say drashtu swarupe avasthanam. That when a person is totally positioned in himself, established in his own nature, that is actually the source of all bliss. But unfortunately, we don't know that. We have not tasted that particular one. So therefore, whatever little things that the mind projects, that we run after. And this is to be stopped. So this is actually the Chittashuddhi expected. And this Chittashuddhi takes us to self-realization. This is the purpose. Why Chittashuddhi? Because In the Kathopanishad, there is a mantra. Nashanta manaso vapi prajnaya tena prajnayenam apnuyat. Navirato duscharitat nashanto nasamahitah. So there is a beautiful verse where it is stated, you cannot just exert yourself and intellectually understand the reality, because it is not that. It is realization, not understanding the reality, not understanding the word sentences, but being with that particular reality. But if you are not chaste, if your moral life is not good, then you cannot achieve it. It's very clear there. Navirataha duscharitat. That means if we do not desist from a chaste life, if we indulge ourselves in unchaste activities, then that particular reality, that realization, that will defy, that will keep away. So therefore, the first thing required in the Vedanta system and yoga system is keeping ourselves pure. In the Buddhism also, they have very clearly stated Shila, Prajna, Samadhi. These three are totally interwoven. So unless the Shila is strong, we cannot expect Prajna. And if Prajna is not strong, we cannot expect Samadhi. And all these are so interlinked that out of Samadhi we get Prajna, and out of Prajna we get Samadhi. That's what Patanjali Maharshi also tells in the Yoga Sutra. Shraddha Virya Smriti Samadhi Prajna Purvaka. So Prajna is enlightenment. That is a product or a result of Samadhi. And Samadhi is complete establishment in consciousness. That means when the chitta is totally inactive or inoperative, then when a person remains in his true form, it is actually Samadhi. And after that, when he comes out, he will not be the old self. There will be new knowledge blossoming, and that particular one is known as Prajna. And thus, yoga is from Shraddha to Prajna. That means we start our yoga life with Shraddha, then that will take us to Prajna. And that Prajna will give us the final result in the form of Kaivalya, that is absolute liberation. Then how to achieve Chittashuddhi? This is, as I told you, self-discipline, social discipline. That means when we are with others, we should have the discipline. And when we are alone, also we should be disciplined. So this way, Yama, Niyama, these two are recommended by Patanjali Maharshi. Others have forgotten, they have neglected the importance of these two. In other Yoga Upanishad, etc., they have dropped Yama Niyama, but the importance of Yama Niyama cannot be denied. So therefore, Yama and Niyama, these two are the personal and the social discipline that we have to imbibe, inculcate in our life so that we can achieve Chittashuddhi. Shankaracharya explains in the beginning of his Bhashya Bhagavad Gita that Chittashuddhi is of utmost importance. Through Chittashuddhi, we can get the eligibility to realize ourselves. That means one attains the eligibility to get the self-realization. So thus, Chittashuddhi is actually the passage into self-realization. Through Chittashuddhi only we can get into that. Otherwise, the door will be closed and we will be outside appreciating only the door and building, but we cannot get an entry into that. So therefore, the Chittashuddhi is very important and several means are prescribed, like Upasana, Pranava Upasana, Mantra Upasana, Nadopasana, Yama Niyama. So all these actually help us get into that self-realization. It may be instant or it may be a time-bound process, but still it is possible. And in this process, we should understand that mind and matter, according to Sankhya Yoga, it is matter, and it is the cause. There is misprint type error. Soul is not SOUL, SOLE. Soul cause. In the Yoga Vasishta also we come across several anecdotes where it is stated that mind is the source of everything. And it is nothing but vasana. Mind has no other form. Mind and vasana, they are so related. Patanjali Maharshi also stated. And vasana have no other substratum, no other place to live. They take only chitta. And in this process, whatever is appearing as life, that means we assuming a body and doing something through the body, etc., we take it for granted. But it is actually not that important. The life, especially the uh, social life, that is not that important. It's only a dream. So therefore, if we attach much importance to that, we may indulge ourselves in some unnecessary activities also. So every time we are supposed to be alert, and then only we can channelize our mind force. So every moment if we are alert, then only we can channelize the mind force, and we can reach something that is beyond mind. Patanjali Maharshi says, beyond mind there is the Atma. It is in consonance with the Kathopanishad statement, yo buddhestu, yo buddhescha paratastu saha. So the Atma or the pure consciousness is beyond the mind. So therefore, if we give importance to mind, then we really get deprived of the benefit of getting to the reality beyond the mind. So therefore, we should try to transcend the psychological limitations. And because mind destruction also, it is twofold. So mind should be destroyed in the sense our thoughts should be properly subjugated, not just suppressed. So our thoughts should be properly subjugated or sublimated. So that process is very important, we will see. And if Chittashuddhi is properly achieved, then we have two things. One is balancing life and beauty of living. See, the beauty of living, where is that beauty? When can we really get the beauty of this life? Only when we balance. And balancing all the forces in this life is known as yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita, therefore, it is stated, Samatvam yoga uchyate. Balance itself is yoga. Samam hi brahma, samam hi nirdosham, that brahma itself is sama. And this samatva we should practice in our life. And we cannot postpone that. The samatva, it is not some intellectual feat or some program on the TV that we just watch and switch off and just go. No, balancing life is that should make a part of our life. Every moment, if we are alert, then we can think of that balancing, and then only we can appreciate the beauty of living also. So in this picture, you see there is beauty. The person balancing himself on one hand. How beautiful it is. Where is the beauty? The beauty is that he has practiced so much that he can balance the complete body on one hand. So that actually speaks of his exertion, his determination, practice, everything. Similarly, when a person balances himself in the society, all the people of the society call him Santa Mahatma. So that balance we have seen in the life of Shirdi Sai Baba, Gajanan Maharaj, Jnaneshwar Maharaj, and many saints of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra, Kerala, everywhere. So all these saints, very few, but still they have shown to us that through balance only we can achieve the beauty of living. And here we understand that because of vasana, a chitta, something is formed. Buddhika bal. Actually, nothing is there, but it is formed. And because of that mind, something is projected as world experience. So where is world? We experience it. But in what way? With all the dualities. But who projects it? Mind projects that. And why does mind project it? Because it is vested with all impressions, vasana. And this is known as drishti srushti. Because the creation is nothing but your own kalpana. So the mind only determines and projects. So this is drishti srushti, and mind is the connector between the self, atma, and the jag, the world outside. So who connects? Otherwise, the self cannot be connected. Matter, the world cannot be connected. So something should be there to connect both, and that is the mind. And in this process, you you remember just the Sankhya philosophy, consciousness and matter. It's actually their combination is universe, consciousness and matter. And matter is nothing but three forces: the sattva, rajas, tamas. One is dominant active force, one is passive force, and other is dormant force. But all the three work together. Sometimes they conceal something, sometimes they uh, project something, sometimes they activate something. But these three forces are there in the universe. These are the natural forces. And when these forces combine in a particular combination, then the collective ego is created. Through that, the individual ego is created. Through that, the senses, the all the sense objects are created, like sound, form, touch, etc. And this itself is material world. So tanmatra and senses together the material world, because we see something, we touch something, we smell something, we hear something. So whatever we get through the senses is the material world. And this way, the Sankhya philosophy has analyzed our world experience, and it has taken us back to the prime cause of the experience. And this is the same in the Sanskrit also. And in this particular one, how does mind function? So if we see the outermost layer, perception, that means we see something, participate with something, we cognize something, but this is part of world. Then world is there because thought or mind is there, thought. And thought or mind is a part of the Brahman, the cosmic reality. So within the cosmic reality, there is a force called mind, and that mind projects the world. And within the world, we have the cognition, we have the knowledge, we have all impurities, everything here. Then, if everything is the domain of Brahman, then how can you differentiate something good, something bad? It is actually the reverse journey that we are taking. So when we prefer to take a reverse journey back to our Brahman, then the impurities stop us. The vasanas, they pull us out. Just as a person wants to sit in deep meditation, closes his eyes, but his mind becomes active and it unnecessarily projects so many things. Like with somebody he had clashes, or somebody he liked, or something happened with somebody, unnecessary things, they just appear in the brain. And he will not sit peacefully in his meditative state. No, he will be pulled out. So what has caused him? These are all impressions. Who has carried? No, he gave importance to people, he gave importance to world, objects and individuals, and they have created some impressions, and those impressions are disturbing him now. So therefore, I remember a sentence: nobody can disturb me other than myself. So I am allowing myself to be disturbed. So therefore, all disturbances are my own approvals. Other person has no control over me. So in this process, we should understand and appreciate the role of mind, chitta. And how does it function? So you just see the slide here. The couple standing there and the man in black, the shadow, he is looking at his wife. That lady is looking at the jewelry somewhere. This is the picture there. Now the vasana there. Why that particular lady? Why that particular man? They are giving preference to the jewelry there. Why they are after that? Many people are there. Many people, crores of rupees they earn, but still they are after money. So I'm taking one example. So in Patanjali's terminology, the vasana means that which has prompted this couple to think about the jewelry, to long for that, to try for that, to earn money and collect more jewelry. So that is a vasana. And that particular vasana is based on alambana. It is the object of vasana. So vasana has several forms. It can be, now it is only jewelry. I have given the picture. It can be food. It can be other person. It can be position. It can be power. It can be anything, fame, name, anything. But that is alambana. That means object. Then where are the vasana? Now you observe these two people here standing. They have the vasana in their chitta. Therefore, chittam is the ashraya of vasana. Because of that only, a person does good or bad, depending on what type of vasana he has, whether good or bad. Shubha vasana, ashubha vasana. Then, why the vasana are created? Why? So, Yoga Shastra tells us, avidya is the hetu. That means our spiritual ignorance. That means when we don't know ourselves, then only we develop vasana. And what is the phala? Yeah, whatever you get, next birth is also the phala, or sukha dukkha is the phala. So this way, all these, this is one example, but every day we are facing this situation that something we like, and that itself is the source of the vasana, because mind has become active. Then vasanas are rigged up. Then there is some alambana for that. Then they have all the repercussions of that. And in this particular process, when the vasanas are activated, then they lead to actions. This is what the Nyaya Sutra also tells us. The Nyaya Sutra tells us, Dukkha Janma Pravritti Dosha Mithya Jnananam Uttarottarapaya Tadanantarapaya Taporkaha. So, when dukkha is to be annihilated or removed, we should understand what causes dukkha. Then we understand that because I have got birth, I have dukkha. So if birth is to be removed, then what causes birth? You go for the cause. Birth is caused by our pravritti. That means our actions. Aha. Then actions. How are they caused? Then you go for the cause behind. That the actions are motivated by our dosha. That means all impurities inside. So when there are impurities, naturally there will be action, reaction, all that. And further, there will be further birth. And if there is birth, there will be definite dukkha. So thus, the chakra, the cycle that continues. Vasana leading to karma, karma leads to birth, birth leads to again vasana. So if this particular chain is to be disconnected or separated, then you should go for Chittashuddhi. That is the only way. Everything else is superfluous. Therefore, we should understand Chittashuddhi very importantly here. And this I have elaborated, that mind prompted by impressions leads to actions. Actions leads to results. These results lead to reactions. Then Because of our reactions in the society, we again collect impressions, and impressions create a mind, again actions and reactions. So ultimately, the cycle will be rolling on. And chitta shuddhi only can stop it, because chitta shuddhi means removing the impressions, because impressions actually prompt the mind. Therefore, if mind is to be kept pure, then the impressions should be taken care of. And the thought flow, just understand, we get all thoughts, but how they flow like river water. Because of impressions, when thoughts appear, so the thoughts actually flow like the river water. Chitta nadi nama ubhayato vahini vahati punyaya cha vahati papaya cha. So even in the Yoga Vasishta it is stated that chitta sarit vahati dvidha. So here on one side our own thoughts can take us to attractive things and unnecessary things, and because of the impurities our chitta may lead us to final collapse. We have seen recent times, we have seen so many people falling prey to the allurements of this mind, like Vijay Mallya, many criminals, because of their infatuation for something, either power or money or something, or because of their lack of discipline, because they could not control their mind, the thoughts, they had fallen prey to the attractions. And finally, what happened? Many of them faced a very disastrous result. Some criminals, they could not control themselves. The chitta was not shuddha. Therefore, they faced death. So it happens. If mind is pure, that means first the ashuddha should be removed. Then even shuddha vasana should also be removed later. This is the process. So the chitta, that means our thoughts, they can take us to disaster, or they can take us to very prosperous, beautiful life also. You see here, on one side you have the disaster caused by floods, the same water. On the other side you have the water, when it is properly used, what does it do? It will be useful for crop. But if it is not properly used, the same water can destroy everything. Similarly, our thoughts can destroy us if they are not properly channelized. That's what Bhagavad Gita tells us. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu upajayate. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. Kamat krodho bijayate. Krodhat bhavati sammohaha. Sammohat smriti vibhramaha. Smriti vibhramshat buddhinashaha. Buddhinashat pranashyati. So that is the ultimate collapse in life. The ultimate collapse is in the form of personality collapse. Losing our property, losing some wealth is not that problematic. But when we lose our personality, that means the integrity of personality, when it is lost, everything is lost. So therefore, it should properly protected. For that, chitta shuddhi is required. And in order to understand the chitta shuddhi, we should understand that whatever is attracting mind is a temporary appearance, and all appearances are illusion. This we should understand. Whatever is attractive is a temporary appearance, and appearance is deceptive, illusion. For example, a beautiful flower, you appreciate, but don't try to possess it. Similarly, everything in the universe, this is a part of universe, and I am a passenger standing or waiting for the train on the platform. So the train comes, the train in the form of death. So everyone has his own train that will come. Till that, whatever time is allotted, we should wait, we should stand on the platform, and we should not be carried away by the attractions there, because many things are there. Similarly, in our life, when we are living, we should give importance to Chittashuddhi, and all other attractions are only a play of senses and nerves, colors and sounds. And if we give unnecessary importance to these things, what happens? I carry the impressions, I means the mind, I get disturbed, I cannot focus, I find personality collapse, and I find myself totally lost. Is this the purpose of life? But when Shvetashvatar Upanishad tells us, Amritasya Putra Vayam, we are all children of immortality, we are direct children of immortality, are we created for this purpose? No. So therefore, we should, of course, appreciate. We should appreciate beauty. We should appreciate discipline. We should appreciate intelligence, wisdom, everything. But everything as creation of the God, not for me. I just appreciate and withdraw myself. But the moment I attach myself and long for that and engage myself in some activity, then that particular object will become positive, negative according to my disposition. That is the problem. So therefore, I should be very careful. A false show, very typical. When I actually try to understand this particular phenomenon, that light falls on a particular object and that gets reflected in my retina. The optic nerves carry the message to brain and say, this is beautiful. What is that? Where is that beauty? It is in my mind. And I am trying to search it outside. And when something appeals to my vasana, then I say it is beautiful. And sometimes I wonder, Miss Africa, we Indians, we have a different understanding of beauty. Then we say, how can they call that lady as Miss Africa, etc.? But actually, beauty is not in the skin. Beauty is not in the body. Beauty is the way she must have presented herself, or she may have answered the questions. Everything is there. So it is all in the eyes of the beholder. So this is mere play of nerves. And we should understand that all opposites in the universe are only illusory, and nerves and senses are playing. And we are also part of the play, very typically. And in this process, Patanjali Maharshi tells us that he has given like corona vaccine, he has given life vaccine, that is Ashtanga Yoga. This is for Chitta Shuddhi. And in this, we have asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Yama niyama are the two pillars on which the entire mansion is built upon. You see, yama niyama are the two big pillars. If you remove this, the entire building collapses. So therefore, yama niyama are very, very, very essential in Patanjali yoga system. Yama niyama are discipline, moral discipline, social discipline. Then you can practice yoga. You can practice asana, pranayam, pratyahara, everything you can practice. But if you neglect these two and practice all the other, it is absolutely useless. It is frivolous. And for Chitta Shuddhi, we should understand the prana and pranayama. Of course, we have the lung capacity, 6 liters of air, and the air, vapor, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, dust, everything is there. And 20% or 21% oxygen is normal. And that is good for us, 100% oxygen. Actually, 100% oxygen, we cannot get it. And it is harmful also. So we should get enough oxygen. And that particular prana gets into our lungs, and their gas exchange takes place. And we get all positive thoughts when we perfectly do pranayama. Because pranayama is very, very powerful, that all negativity is removed. All negativity physically and spiritually also. And in this process, we understand that as we breathe in and out, The brain requires oxygen and glucose. And oxygen, if it is low, there will be low blood oxygen level. Then brain signaling problems will be there. Then all the muscles and tissues, they long for oxygen, oxygen hungry. Then pranayama, that supplies enough oxygen to the brain. Then we get all positivity because brain repairs, regenerates and functions better. So for that purpose, we should do pranayama, and pranayama definitely and directly leads to Chittashuddhi. And in this process, we understand that in the brain there is the dopamine, and it actually, when it is created or released in the brain, so moods are enhanced and a very positive and soothing effect is felt. So deep breathing, it's actually 5 to 20 minutes if we practice every day, that increases alpha power in our brain. And of course, there is theta power 15 to 20 minutes, alpha 5 minutes to 20 minutes also. Alpha is actually, this is the present, and it is the resting state of the brain. And these actually help us in coordinating, keeping calmness, alertness, integration and learning. So beautiful thing. But that is part of the universe again, alpha. So that is his creation and it is there in the brain, and we should just understand and connect with it that much. So this is the importance of pranayama in Chittashuddhi. Because if oxygen supply is low, then we get all negativity. If dopamine secretion is not proper, then automatically the brain longs for that, and unnecessarily people, because they don't know the source of that particular one, they go after unnecessary things. Like the small children, they eat unnecessary things, the fast food, etc. Why a longing for fast food? Because proper one is not supplied to that, so therefore they go after unnecessary things, watching TV, eating chocolates, and going out with friends. All these things are actually to get this particular dopamine secreted in our brain. And if we daily practice pranayama and meditation, it is automatically secreted. So that is the source of all bliss within. And vital breath and this meditation, you see, breathing, it creates electrical activity in the brain. Okay, there is, you know, that electric charge is created and the neuron supply is there in the brain. So because it is properly coordinated, there is emotional judgment, memory, recall, everything enhanced, and memory that is very strong. So when we take breath, then only our memory is proper and everything is proper. So this way breathing leads to intelligence, and that is overall health, long life, everything. The secret is there. So therefore we should learn the proper way of breathing also, though it is natural, but we have made it unnatural because of our emotions, because of our lifestyle. We have forgotten to take breathing also properly, because all the while we are suppressing. And now when we open up ourselves and open to the nature, and we participate with the nature, we welcome nature, appreciate nature, and the nature functions through us, and there the vital breath becomes the prana shakti. Then our prajna also gets to the top point of its maturity. And healthy life, I tell you, for mental peace, concentration and inner happiness, meditation is good. And through meditation, the impurities are removed. I told you in the beginning itself that vasana are the source of all mind and the world outside. And if vasanas are properly understood and removed, and if we do not let new vasanas take place in our brain, then we can say that the chitta is shuddha. There is purity. And if we practice meditation for 1 hour, then 64% of dopamine increase is there. So for that, what we have to do? We have to do physical exercise regularly, like sukshma vyayam, like some warming exercise, stretching, bending, twisting, rotating. All these are very important for the body. Otherwise, what happens? The muscle tissues, muscles, and all these, they lose their coordination. When proper coordination is lost in the body, then body becomes heavy. And when it becomes heavy, when there is no coordination, the heart finds it very difficult to pump blood to every part of body. When blood circulation is not proper to every part of body, some parts become almost a burden to us. Then moving will be cumbersome, and body itself will become hell. So therefore, there should be proper coordination within the body. For that, we should practice or do physical exercise regularly, some exercise. And we should not mistake our regular activities as physical exercise. Physical exercise is something we should deliberately practice every day, keeping some time for that, at least half an hour. Then only it will become exercise. And especially during this Navaratri, I would like to request all the Durga, Kali, Haimavati, all the Devi Swarupa, that you spare at least half an hour in your life. Forget about your family, half an hour only. Later they are with you. But half an hour you think of yourself. So that will actually increase your life, make your very healthy, yourself healthy, and you will be more helpful to them. And every member of the family should practice this. So this is first thing. Then we have forgotten that we should learn to meditate. Meditate is actually deliberate attempt to get into ourselves. And if meditation is properly practiced, then we can expect happiness and health. Then, if possible, not to all, if some people get the chance, they can get a massage also. In Kerala, massage, etc., because that helps proper blood circulation, and there is actually a rejuvenation in the body. Then don't forget, sleep well. Sleeping well is medicine for so many diseases. Sleep well. All your physical, psychological problems are solved. Only financial problems are not solved. But if you say, I have financial problems and I sleep hours together, then financial problems will increase. So don't sleep during financial problems. But when you sleep well and when you come out of that, you get all energy to cope with all the stress. So if you have financial problems also, your mind will search for new solutions and you can get it. And listen to good music. So this is also a means, because if we listen to good music, it actually soothes ourselves, and total a kind of peace, a kind of relaxation, a kind of diversion is felt. And on the name of listening to music, we should not listen to unnecessary songs, because either you listen to noises are not music, and lyrics are also not important, because most of the songs with lyrics, they carry vasana, and because of that our mind gets new vasanas. And watching TV more that much time, that is also not good, because again we are allowing our brain or mind, chitta, to go after vasana, because our TV serials, cinemas, and our newspapers, our everything, even our internet, YouTube, so mostly these are filled with vasana. So if you want real Chittashuddhi, then reduce the time you spend with all these gadgets or all these instruments, and listen to good music, mostly instrumental, like a flute, veena. So these are really divine. So we can enjoy that. Not only enjoying, we can get positive energies, positive waves. So this is the way we can understand the chitta first, then get rid of all the vasanas. And mind has no form. Therefore, when vasanas are removed, chitta is also removed. That is known as chittanasha. Chittanasha, arupa chittanasha, sarupa chittanasha stated in the Shastra. But in both the way, the only way is to understanding the vasana and getting rid of them. And meditation is a very strong method through which we can get rid of the vasana. And when vasana are removed, that is chitta shuddhi. And when chitta is shuddha, pure, then atma sakshatkara, self-realization, knowing oneself is possible. Knowing oneself as either part of the universe or the Brahman, as the Shankaracharya philosophy says, whatever it is, that is possible only when the chitta is pure. So therefore, every moment we should, in the morning and evening, scan ourselves in meditation. So when we sit in the meditation, before getting into the state of meditation, we should just scan within who is there, who is doing what, for what purpose he has come into this world. So all this scanning should be done. Then if pranava is properly practiced, then we can get into the state of meditation. Every day it is possible, and meditation gives everybody the required positive energy. And thus chitta shuddhi leads to achieving the purpose of life. Purushartha, we say, purpose of life. It is not success always. Success may or may not take place, but purpose should be there. And purposeful life is possible through Chitta Shuddhi, and Chitta Shuddhi is possible through Ashtanga Yoga and especially Yamaniyama. And Yamaniyama, for that, you require complete determination and a very sincere disposition to the Shastra. And if you read Bhagavad Gita at least one shloka every day, so you will definitely understand the way to Chitta Shuddhi. So this is the message of the Upanishad. Chitta Shuddhi, how to get it? Asato ma sadgamaya. O Lord, the Creator, the Supreme Energy, ma, that means me, asataha, from untruth, gamaya, lead me to sat. O Lord, lead me from untruth to truth. Tamaso ma jyotir gamaya. O Lord, lead me from darkness to light. Mrityor ma amritam gamaya. Lead me from death to immortality. So this is the Upanishadic prayer. With this, we stop here, and I thank the organizers, and I offer my humble pranam to all the revered teachers and the great acharyas of our tradition. I offer my salutations to all of them, and may God bless us all. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.
Namaste, dear participants. We've had a wonderful session with Professor Shri Professor Madhusudan Penna ji, and it was very enlightening that he has given us a very candid view of how Chitta Shuddhi works. And there is one question by Sanjeev Dahivatkar. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. It's Sanjeev. And the question is, what is theta power? What is theta power?
See, our brain has the wave patterns, and the wave patterns are named. Some are alpha, beta, delta, theta. So like the cells in the what we say, the pancreas. So there also we have the alpha, beta, delta cells. Similarly, in the brain, we have the waves, and the wave patterns are studied and given the name. So that is the power of brain waves that is there. So I find so many questions very fine, very interesting. Uh, like if chit is manas, see, actually, chit means consciousness, and whatever is powered or empowered or energized by consciousness is chitta. Chitta is matter, and Sat Chit Ananda, it is none other than the Brahman, the supreme reality or the God consciousness. It is essentially Sat Chit Ananda. That means all existence, all knowledge, and all bliss. That is Satchidananda. So for Chitta Shuddhi, we have to reduce interaction with the world. That is the a view that till we get that knowledge or realization, we should lessen the participation. But after that, whatever participation will be there, that participation will not be deliberate. That's why they say, Pashyati achakshuhu shrunoti akarnaha. See, he listens as if he has no ears. He looks at the world as if he has no eyes at all. That means the senses are not important. He does not look at the world through the vasana. He looks at, that means it appears, that's all. But we, all the other people, look at the universe through their vasana. So according to vasana, the world appears. To some, it is bhoga padartha. To some, it is bhagavat nilaya. So it all depends on how we put ourselves to that. And here we have some questions like, Chitta Shuddhi, we should reduce interaction. That is really, that's, I also accept it. Then, yeah, what is the theta power? We have seen that. Yeah, there is a big one. It is said that sleeping before 12 at night doubles the quality of sleep. Could you elaborate on that further? What is the ideal time and quantum of sleep? Some say 7, 6, and also 8. See, you also understand, Rucha madam, that it all depends on the nature of work we do throughout the day, because it is not same to all the individuals. Because some people have the habit of having sound sleep only in 4 or 5 hours. I know many people, they don't sleep much, but when they sleep, they have very good sound sleep. So it depends, but doctors say 8 hours sleep is good, but not good to all. That is the problem, because it depends on age also. But at least 6 hours sleep is good, minimum 6 hours sleep. And before 12, it's true, it's actually eating before 7 and sleeping before 10 is good, so that we wake up early and mind will be fresh. And Ramchandraji has said, all our actions will create reactions and some reactions will be negative. What can be done to prevent these reactions from causing further negative impressions? So the answer is there itself. When actions are creating reactions, either we become indifferent and balanced, so that our actions will not trouble others, and sometimes it is so inevitable that our actions are going to disturb others, then we should be prepared for the reactions also. Because in the Mahabharata it is stated that when we do something, the other person is bound to get affected and react. Then how to stop that? So for that, even in the Bhagavad Gita, they have stated that you cannot avoid karma, but you can give a channel to that. You can give a kind of direction to that, so that if you reduce the amount of bad karma, that itself is good. Lokanna udvijate, lokanna udvejayati cha yaha. Bhagavad Gita tells, don't trouble the world, that means people around or animals, everything. And don't get troubled by them, because it is mutual coexistence of humans with the nature. So therefore, we don't have any right to disturb all this. Then, yeah, when we listen to good music, it will also become an attraction. Yes, of course, but in comparison with other kind of music, it is good. But later we should get rid of that also. It automatically happens. And Ashtanga Yoga is the only way for purposeful life. Many people are not even aware of Ashtanga Yoga. Yes, it is actually the healthy way of life. Ashtanga Yoga is healthy way of life. And if anybody understands that, he will definitely welcome it. And another question is it possible to judge that a particular person has attained Chittashuddhi? Can a person who attained this guide someone else to help achieve this? Yes, yes. We can definitely understand whether the other person has achieved it or not through his actions and vani. Sometimes words are deceptive, but actions are not deceptive. See, when somebody is consuming liquor, and when he says, I am good, people don't believe, because his action speaks of it. So therefore, we can understand. That's why we have so many Santa in India, not now, the previous time. Is it wrong to have materialistic desires without causing trouble to anyone? I would like to buy a jewelry out of desire, but it is not necessary for living. Instead, should I use the money I spend on jewelry to help needy? Yes. Here, when swartha is dominant, of course, we try to possess something for ourselves. But when philanthropic thought that wakes up, then automatically we think of others out of compassion. We try to help others. It happens. So if there is no such need around, naturally we think of ourselves, and we think that there is no harm in that if I possess something, some material. So uh, if it is casual, no problem. But if it becomes a habit, and if there is an attachment, then all attachment leads to sorrow. That is the Vedanta. And what is the indication of reduced karma? So when karma residue is not there, then there is absolute peace and happiness within. That is actually the indication that there is peace and there is quietude, all that. What is the Vedic term for intuition? So not Vedic, but very old term, prajna and pratibha. They are there for intuition. And people generally say pratibha means talent, but it is not the talent. In Kashmiri Shaiva philosophy, the word pratibha is used for this intuition, intuitive power. There are many people who do a lot of good, but still they suffer. So this is very intriguing and enigmatic question, because the Vedantic scholars also uh, they also get baffled, because the karma of this birth is seen. The karma of previous many births is not seen. So therefore, when they have accumulated so much of negative karma, and in this birth they are doing all positive, so the accumulated one is to be exhausted. But we cannot understand. That's why we blame sometimes the God also. That is the problem. And uh, of course, that is human, of course. And yeah, so there are so many such questions here. Chittashuddhi, how can we choose best form school of yoga for practice, as we find many ways? How to move towards reality by reducing vasana? Can we understand vasana for cravings? Yes, yes, the craving is vasana. And there are many schools in India, but I tell you, it's very difficult to find out the right one. But after all, every person is his true guru. If you are honest to yourself, you are the true guru. So you can practice a very disciplined yoga, because uh, a very slight thought or your motivation, a 1 minute motivation will also be sufficient sometimes. You can go on the path of yoga. Chittashuddhi, do we have to reduce interaction? Yes, yes, interaction should be reduced. And the vasana, they are good or bad, because some people have the vasana for shastra also. I should study more, so many shastras, and I should understand so many things, etc. That is also one kind of vasana. And Shankaracharya says in the Viveka Chudamani that good vasana is like a golden chain, while bad vasana is like an iron chain. That's all. That is the difference. But both are chains. So therefore, we are tied by this vasana, and vasana itself creates the jivatva. So therefore, we should come out of that. So that is there. And I think I have answered most of the questions I find in the chat box. By Chittashuddhi, how can we get rid of rebirth? Huh? Yeah, by Chittashuddhi, how can we get rid of rebirth? So when Chittashuddhi is there, the impurities are removed. When impurities are not there, we do not indulge in unnecessary actions. We put ourselves to actions that are necessary for living, that's all. And thus, we can avoid rebirth. And should we not ask God for certain answers? We should ask. We should ask everything, because He is the Father, He is the Mother. So there is no wrong in that. We may get answers, because everybody is created in this manner, that everybody will get answers within. And God has created, God has put the design. And from Shubha Ashi, so there is rebirth after death. You say there is rebirth after death. Yeah. Yeah, I believe in that. And all the in the philosophical systems of India, they believe in that, except Buddhism, Jainism, and this Charvaka, they don't believe. But very typically, they have described the rebirth tales of Lord Buddha. So that's why when something bad happens, we are told it's karma, and when something good happens, we say it's God's grace. Why then karma theory? Yeah, God's grace is also activated by our karma. So after all, it is karma. When something bad happens, it is karma. When something good happens, it is also karma. But this karma has encouraged God to take a positive decision. That's the explanation given there. And Satvik Vasana. And how to develop our intuition? It is through meditation that we can develop our intuition. And when somebody asked Arvinda Ghosh also, he said, the best of my poetry is an outcome of the best moments I spent in my meditation, he said. So there is a question from Kaivalya. We haven't experienced death. Why do we fear a lot from death? Where can we find detailed Vedic description? So in the Yoga Bhashya, they have clearly discussed this, that if we have not experienced death, why should we fear? It actually indicates that we have experienced death in several births. Therefore, we have the fear that again we have to leave this body. So Yoga Bhashya tells us that this is the factor that leads to the inference of rebirth, previous birth. So this is a chain. It is not some accidental occurrence in the universe that we have appeared here. No, it is actually continuity. And in the Veda, we don't find any such description, but in the Shastra it is there. And Titiksha, in Viveka Chudamani, Titiksha is actually endurance or tolerance. That means our ability to tolerate all the dualities is Titiksha. And actually we can put into practice also, like the Jaina monks, they put a lot of practice, and they expose themselves to all the forces of nature, and they don't give importance to their physical body. Therefore they don't bother about anything. And What all do you practice titiksha in a translational? We need to push to get things done. Yes, it is there, but if we minimize the negative things, so at least we contribute to the dharma individually and family level, socially and universally. We contribute to the maintenance of dharma, balancing the dharma. So that much if we do, really we are very, very fortunate that we have come on to this world, onto this planet, and we are in this particular appearance, and at least we do not harm others, and we do not contribute to negative things in the universe. That is very good. That much is the purpose of our life. If everything is based on karma, why astrology? So very typically wearing gems, etc., that is also a karma, because you are wearing gems, you are performing a homa, anything that is after all karma. And Jyotisha is actually, if we really study Jyotish Shastra, there is Phalat Jyotisha. They also explain that this particular graha will prompt you to take that particular action. And you go to the astrologer, you consult, and you get the jewelers, gem, something, and or mantra or homa, something, and you come back. This is the chakra of karma. Nobody is out of that. So it is now 8:30, and I hope the questions are, yeah, the questions are over now. And I appreciate your sincerity and your inquisitiveness, especially. So happy I am that I have something to share with you. So really happy, and may God give us all positivity in life. May we lead all positive life with all energy, because we have a very short period of time with us. See, the people who have just come into the world may think that long life is there, but who knows? So that's why every moment is equally valuable. So if we understand and accept yoga into our life, then we can make it purposeful. And material benefits are also promised there, no problem. So this way we can lead a purposeful life. So thank you all. Thank you organizers, especially Swaroopji and others who have made it possible. So I thank all the organizers and wish all the best, and Shubha Navaratri.
I sincerely thank Professor Madhusudan Penna ji for having conducted a wonderful session.
Thank
So,
you, sir.
like yesterday, we have had a very interactive session as well at the end of the entire event. So this has been a very encouraging event, because in this country, if there is something called as celebration, that celebration is purification. And that's the reason probably we have a lot of people bringing in their own friends, and also the views have gone up on the YouTube and other platforms. Very happy about the way things are unfolding themselves. Tomorrow, my dear friends, we have one lecture from Vinaya Chandra, Dr. Vinaya Chandra. So let's be on time like every day. And we sincerely thank once again Madhusudan ji for having guided us through this entire event. And we have no words, no specific words to thank him, but wholeheartedly we thank him for the entire session and the way he has delivered it, and has given a lot of clarity. Because even after having studied Vedanta, at some point I felt taking those questions and answering them isn't easy, because some questions appear very enigmatic, and they appear illogical as well. But answering them, what makes a scholar very pleasing to us, and he has given us a wonderful answer, and definitely helped us get some clarity. Thank you once again, sir. One last thing, kindly please remember this. Please give us a feedback, and you promised to organize more such events, and we also promised to um, improvise on our program in the upcoming days. Kindly help us, make this program much better, not only for tomorrow, not only during this event, but in the upcoming days as well. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you once again.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Shubha Navaratri. Bye bye. Shubharatri.
Shubharatri.